So let's check in with Jon Rahm's 54-hole positions in his last 4 starts. I mentioned this will be his 4th straight start in the final group in the final round. And, well, that is because he has just been so consistent. If he hasn't won Brandel, he's finished runner-up or tied second. It's just quite remarkable how he has come out and begun the year 2023 when 2022, by his standards, was arguably a disappointing year.
Definitely was a disappointing year. I mean, we expect more out of Jon Rahm than what we saw last year. I mean, what we're seeing this year is what we've been predicting of Jon Rahm for a long period of time. And what I saw today is really what I've been waiting to see from Jon Rahm for a long period of time. He hasn't won a PGA Tour event by more than 3 shots. I mean, he's good enough, it looks like to me, to go out and just blitz a field, you know, win by 7, 8, 9 shots. But to do that, he's got to have great iron play through the week. He was the best iron player in the field today. I mean, Rahm versus the field was extraordinary to watch. And there's some greens out there that was so difficult to hit. This is Keith Mitchell at the 4th. It's 245 yards. This one's, I would say, having some fun here. This was harder to hit than a Jenny Finch fastball. You ever saw Jenny Finch throw it? You couldn't hit it. Well, you couldn't hit this green today. Well, there were a couple, I guess, that hit it. We'll roll in the numbers here just to give you some sense. Think about that. Best players in the world, less than 15% of them found this green, and they were averaging 3-putt territory at 55 feet and change. Jon Rahm gets up here and does what I was waiting for somebody to do today, and it was just awesome to watch. I mean, this is exactly what they had in mind when they came up with the concept of a Redan hole. And this is a reverse Redan. But it is a beauty. Excuse me, not a reverse Redan. It's a proper Redan. And that's how you properly play a Redan hole. You land it on the front, and let the slope and the architect's dreams do the rest. And here we are at the 5th. And at this point, there hadn't been a single birdie on the 5th hole. I mean, it was an exceedingly difficult second shot. Got the hook lie, but you can't miss this green to the left. So everybody was airing short. They were missing to the right. They were missing to the left. And Jon Rahm comes in here, just to give you some sense, less than half of the field was finding this green. And again, close to 3-putt territory. But Jon Rahm coming out of the rough, mind you, which makes this even more impressive. So, you know, he's got to elevate it. And of course, it helps when you've got the kind of speed that he does. But what I liked about watching him today was the tempo of the swing. It just looked to me like there was a little bit of a pause in his transition. You know, it didn't have flash speed. It didn't look like he was cracking a whip. And a beautiful shot right there. I mean, far, far better than the field. And we'll go to the 8th. Again, this was just an exceedingly difficult hole location to get at. You know, a lot of players didn't even risk it. You know, we saw Tiger Woods come along later, and after a beautiful drive, Tiger had, I think, only something like 90 yards there, and he aimed out well to the left. I mean, Tiger Woods is notoriously conservative, and this hole really did ask for a conservative shot because, well, you just had to be so precise coming into it. You see it right there. Short irons in here, and they were averaging right around 40 feet from the hole. So, again, this is how you separate yourself. And Jon Rahm with the beautiful wedge shot here after finding the fairway. He didn't find that many fairways. Just 5 of them, which is more than he found yesterday. Again, right beneath the hole, and he was able to make that for birdie. And we'll go to the 9th. And a beautiful swing, by the way. I mean, I just love this guy's action. Keith Mitchell. And, again, it wasn't like this one was as hard to get close as 4, 5, and 8. But still, it was plenty hard. I mean, 30 feet away was the average of the field. And Jon Rahm, again, found another drive, which set up a beautiful iron shot in here. And so he's able to make the birdie at 4. He was able to make the birdie at 8. He was able to make the birdie at 9 and shot 31 and carried on playing some great golf, by the way. Great saves, great scrambling. I mean, it takes a lot to get a 3-shot lead. It's not just one thing, but it helps when you're hitting your irons like that.